We simply must do something about the business, brother. These chambers are much too small for our lifestyle.
I realize that, Scipion, but the Fang-Furls have us by the throat. What am I to do? I recognize that swagger. You once darkened the door of an establishment my brother and I ran in northern elsewhere, did you not? Much as I would relish renewing our acquaintance, I'm a bit too distracted. Damnable Fang-Furls. With the Empire gone, the Fang-Furls gang controls all trade in Blackwood. They're run by Pungent Adder. Every fifth coin in the region ends up in his coffers. This makes business difficult for my brother and I. Perhaps we could enlist your help? If we had one of their business ledgers, I'd have an understanding of the Fang-Furls' operations. Perhaps even find a weakness ripe for exploiting. If you could procure one of those ledgers for us, my brother and I would pay you handsomely. If you get us a ledger, I'm certain we can put it to good use. Rumor has it the Fang-Furls have a bookkeeper, Lerard Droth, who lives in town. I'd wager you could find a ledger in his home. It's just around the corner, across from the bridge. I know his name is Lerard Droth, but the Fang-Furls make him lead a quiet life to conceal his identity, I imagine. But all the muscle on their payroll visits him for late-night liaisons. Very clandestine, the whole thing. But not to my keen eyes. Scipion and I left elsewhere to claim a gift left to us by our departed uncle, the Happy Averno Shipping Company. Formerly, it was one of Blackwood's main trade enterprises. We thought, with a little elbow grease, it might prove a profitable venture. We discovered our uncle's affairs were more precariously poised than described for one. Many of his charters and contracts were voided by the Three Banners War. The Fang-Furls did the rest. They came for everything they could steal. You can learn a great deal from a business ledger. Where money comes from, where it goes, and then all you need to do is apply a little pressure at a weak point. I don't know exactly what we'll find, but I do know whatever it is, I can exploit it. The Happy Averno Shipping Company was gifted to my brother and I by our dear departed uncle. Formerly, it was one of Blackwood's main trade enterprises. We discovered our uncle's affairs were more precarious.
I like reading too, you know, if you ever need an excuse to get me something.
Stand down, fetcher.
I could go for a bit of excitement.
I saw some rather unsavory ruffians skulking about. Fang furls, I'm sure.
They wouldn't dare approach us directly. We're safe enough, Iulius.
All the same, I'd rather you not venture outside without me, brother.
The Fangfurls continue to sniff around our skirts. If we don't move quickly, there won't be a Happy Averno Shipping Company left to save. Did you find the ledger my brother asked about? I'd like a look. Iulius has no head for sums. Let's see. It seems the Fangfurls have their thumbs in some very dirty pies. I'm not one to talk, given where my hands have been. I have an idea. If we can draw out Pungent Adder himself, we can topple him and his gang. By gifting Pungent Adder some umbrage. Looking at this ledger, I see two morsels dangling before us. Firstly, according to this, the Fangfurls use dead drops to issue and receive orders. If we steal those drops, we disrupt their operation. We sent Pungent Adder a more personal message. It seems he has a barrel of Oleander Coast Reserve waiting at the docks. Let's say we season it with something foul. Make it as pungent as the adder himself? While you sabotage the dead drops and taint his wine, Iulius and I will write a signed letter to make his blood boil. Then it's just a matter of combing the stinking depths of Leowin until we find someone that can put the letter in his hands. Hang on to them, I suppose. They might be useful to peruse after all is said and done. Find out who's worth trusting and who's happily squirming in bed with Adder. The cask is at the docks, so I'm sure there will be something on hand. Pitch, bilge water, fish, anything will do. Just try not to get caught doing anything unseemly in public, hmm? No sense mixing business with pleasure.
I was tired of walking anyway. Let's ride!
The Ivory Brigade has need of you.
Can never have enough of that.
You have my word. If the Counselor is in Leowin or the surround...
Off we go!
Bilge grubs! Piping hot bilge grubs for sale!
It'll be good to get away from the family a bit.
Those were fang furls, weren't they?
Yes! They grabbed the two brothers and dragged them out of here. Horrid. But it's none of our business.
Betrayal fills the days. May disaster turn away from us.
don't like the bustle of cities, but I come from a big family, so it reminds me of home.
Yeah! 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 Yeah!
See, I told you they'd come, Scipion.
Not now, Iulius. Our friend could be ambushed at any moment.
I really don't like your odds.
Fine! I'll deal with you myself!
Well thought. Now, would
still
you
here.
mind freeing
Thanks
us
for
from these
asking.
bindings?
Thank the divines. Those fang furls have unpleasant knotwork.
Let's not linger here. Shall we meet back at our office? We made it back safely and burned our sodden silks. I still feel filthy. We're both going to need a long, hot bath after all this. But what's more important is that we stood up to the Fang Furls and won. Absolutely. Now that you've stripped the Fang Furls of their leader, the Empire will dismantle itself, which opens up a great deal of business opportunities, none of which would be possible without you. Take this with our deepest thanks. The whole affair has left poor Scipion so dreadfully tense. He collapsed from exhaustion as soon as we got back. He has such a fragile disposition. Don't worry about him. I won't let him out of my sight. Now that this matter is settled, Scipion and I can begin restoring the Happy Averno Trading Company. My first priority is to find us somewhere else to live. I don't mind close quarters, but the two of us are accustomed to a certain lifestyle. A few, but we don't want to merely restore it to its original profitable status. My brother and I always strive for more. We rely on our ingenuity for success. Our dear uncle was rather kind-hearted when it came to debts. We'll change that.
fights for Leia wins freedom.